thank you very much for this warm welcome, and I'm delighted that I am in this stage again, and I have the opportunity to meet all of you. There is a big change for me, and I would like to share. Last year, I was here on my own with having obviously Glenn's amazing team looking after me, and I'm very grateful. This year, though, I'm so pleased that I have my amazing team, the sustainability team and the social impact team with me, and representatives from the business and executive directors joining us. And this says a lot about the journey that we are in Sellafield, a company that has so much national and international importance due to its mission. It says a lot about how important sustainability becomes in the business agenda. And if a business like Sellafield, an organization like Sellafield that has this mechanistic organizational structure, puts sustainability so high, then I can only be very hopeful about what other organizations, private sector, otherwise can achieve. So today we will discuss the business sustainability issues. Last year we discussed about how we can take a holistic approach and how sustainability is a mindset. This year we will share what are the priorities, what are the challenges that we are facing as sustainability professionals or the ones that they want to be part of this agenda. And the intention obviously is not to make this a group therapy. The intention is to share, and I will be delighted if you want to have a further discussion. We have our stand and we will share more. So I identified some areas that obviously I know that there are more, but these are, let's say, the common denominators, common themes, cross-industry and globally, and I would like to share some thoughts about them. So starting from the sustainable innovation. Obviously, when we discuss innovation, usually we think technology. However, in the context of sustainability, we think something wider. We think how we can use innovation in order to help people, how we can contribute to their well-being, how we can ensure that we have we use artificial intelligence in order to have more meaningful jobs. How can we use innovation in order to create skill sets and support the social impact agenda? How we can ensure that we use innovation in order to secure a business continuity? So it is not just technology, it is much wider than this, and how we can use innovation for efficiencies. So having said that, and using the word efficiencies, how can using an efficient way and how we can design a product, we can reduce waste, and how we can increase the longevity of a product, and how we can make this in a proactive way, and how reactively we can repair and reuse something. And obviously, we can understand that due to the different principles that are involved for this cycle, so from the concept to design to manufacturing and until we arrive to the maintenance and to reuse or repair, there are a lot of interfaces, and lack of knowledge or familiarity, can create let's say, some barriers of using circularity. If we think that having the circular economy is an enabler for the sustainability principles and practices, it is something that it would be very important that we focus and we try to invest not only time but to understand it and see how we can integrate this in the overall sustainability agenda. But definitely it is something that it needs us as everything else, a cohesive plan. Climate change is happening. It is here. We see flood, storms, different heat wave, and there are some really disheartening stats. So about 140,000 people have lost their lives during the last 40 years only in Europe. 85% were just from heat waves. Economic impact, about €500 billion during this period of time. And of course, I can understand that different areas are vulnerable in different ways, but the important is to understand the risk and put the right mitigation plans for this adaptation and resilience, like different types of infrastructure, but also natural-based solutions. The engagement with employees is has a duality. Obviously, it has to do with the top-down commitment, but it has to do also with the bottom-up drive. And here is about how we can understand what is the maturity level of each organization. It is very important that we get the commitment from the C-suite in order to pass a very clear message to the business about the direction, but also about the actions that need to be taken in order to integrate sustainability across the business ecosystem. But equally, it is very important that all the hierarchy levels take the responsibility, because here it is about the responsibility. This is not about what an organization does. This is about how things happen. And this is not about what we do, but who we are. It is very different context. If I say that I'm doing something responsible, the difficulty is to say I am responsible, or this is where we need to move. If we want to integrate sustainability within them as a culture and within the business ecosystem, being part of the corporate DNA, we need to move from what to I am. I am responsible. I care. And then things are completely, take a different perspective. Obviously, this is something that we need to discuss, and we need to find solutions about what we can do, because we are in this transition period. We still try to understand what sustainability is and how we can embed it, but things would be much easier if people would have the knowledge, and the knowledge is power, and it comes with education. And the earlier we have this, and plant the seed from the early stages, from the young generation, from children, until they arrive to the universities, the dialogue will change considerably, and it will be a different dynamic, because then if we arrive to this point, then we won't have any battles about why should we discuss sustainability, what is sustainability. It will be what else we can do about it. But equally, even now, we can still have the organizations having business training for their employees, passing a very clear message about what type of business they are and what type of employees they want to have in their business. And then in this way, they influence others to do the same thing. 2 days ago, we were with my team and representatives of our business in a charity gala, supporting funding for the children in care. And it was very moving, because there were things that basic things that we consider them as basic and taken for granted, like I'm going to school or university, I'm going to the doctor, I have a home, I have a family, I have a mom and a dad that hug me, they love me. These things are not there for the children in care and the young people in care. And this is not only about the children, that they should have the safety, the environment, everything that they need, accessibility to education and to whatever else that would transform the dream to hope and achievement. This is about everyone having this inclusive and equal right, because we are talking about basic life, people's lives, human rights. So the social justice is about accessing equal, basic, fundamental things that will give everyone the opportunity, the equal opportunity to thrive and live the life they need within a community that they will feel safe and they can express themselves in a free way. Sustainable finance is another way that we can think of the social justice and environmental priorities and how we can find solutions. It is how we can identify these vehicles, finance vehicles that can channel capital into socioeconomic and environmental projects in order to support the sustainability agenda. But it is very, very important that together with identifying these funding resources so somebody can invest in sustainability principles, they can as well, we can have the expectation from the capital investment companies to use the opportunity they have in their hands and the power they have in their hands, managing trillions of dollars through their portfolio, and do the right thing, ensuring that we will not have greenwashing or purpose washing. We know that by 2027, there will be approximately $130 trillion invested in projects for decarbonization and capital infrastructure. So there is a huge opportunity there. The supply chain is something that is directly interconnected with any organization. It is the only stakeholder, apart from the internal ones, of course, that can deliver and disclose and that can deliver a company's mission. And based on what we said before about the sustainable finance, what we mentioned before about the innovation, about the circularity, how we can start from the design phase of a product. Supply chain cannot be far away from the principles that we have as a sustainable and caring business. We cannot say that we are role models if we don't have other role models around us. We cannot seek for efficiencies and we don't have an efficient supply chain. We cannot say that we are protecting human rights and labor rights and we do not have transparency in our supply chain. So it is very, very important that we develop our supply chain, ensuring that we set the right expectations, and this will definitely pay dividends in our reputation, but also will send again a clear message to our employees about what organization we are, and this can increase not only the reputation, but also can become a customer of choice and an employer of choice. Having said that, it is not that easy. If we want to do the right thing, it is not that we can do whatever we want, and we need the proper legislation and a regulation framework. Obviously, in different regions, different countries, there are different legal systems, and there are cases, I have found myself in that, where something that is ethical, we don't know if it is moral and if it is legal. And I have an example to share. If I know that in a specific country or area, labor rights, as an example, are not top priority, trying to be diplomatic here, and I can put through a contract, try to impose through a contract terms and conditions that labor rights is very, very important and say something like that there. If in that country labor rights is not their priority, then what I want to put through the contract and it is ethical becomes illegal for that country. So it is something that the inconsistency in legislation and how we can find ourselves in a dilemma, what should we do? Because it is easy to say that I will not work with these countries, with this type of companies, but then let's remember what sustainability is. Sustainability is about caring, isn't it? It's not only about having reports and having investors or having what we will say in the local community. It is about how we can evidently show that we care. If we turn our backs to these people that their human rights are violated, how are we gonna move from this situation? So we need to find the ways to help others, because sustainability is not about us only, it's about the future, and not only our future, but the future of the humanity. Measuring how this success or how sustainability can help is tricky. We know that there are some efforts to standardize measurements. It's not there yet. And we need to be a little bit open and flexible with this, because obviously different organizations and different industries might require some different ways of measuring sustainability. The important is to have the commitment, even if things are not perfect, to have the commitment and ensure that, yes, there are some meaningful measures that the business will not only accept, but will recognize and will have everyone around it as important. In an ideal world, we would like to see them as part of a business plan. In an ideal world, we would like them to see them within within the same industry. But obviously, for the moment, there is some level of standardization as part of regulation, some legislation that we need to adhere to for the moment, and there is a level of consistency. But still, the bigger issue is the sum with the money. So how we can ensure that we can integrate sustainability from the design phase, for example, how we can move from tell me what is the nominal price now to the total cost of ownership, how we can ensure that we show everyone that it is not only about now, it's about the future. And these are some of the big questions we have, and we need to reply to the C-suite and the boards. There is way. We just need to move a little bit more, take some actions, seek for support, check benchmarking, be open to other organizations that they may have done something, and not be afraid of sharing knowledge and experience. Again, we are all in globally for the sustainability agenda. We are in this journey, and it is very important that we are all together in this, and let's share. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you very much indeed. Right, do we have any immediate questions from the room? We do. Let's go to the one in the middle, then I'll come down here to you. Yes, it was your hand.
It was my hand. Hi,
Hi.
Good to see you back this year. My name is Lisa, and there will be a theme to my questions through the day, is that I believe that sustainability needs data, but we need to make data more sustainable. I'm curious how or if you're embedding a data strategy into your actions to ensure that you are monitoring and measuring and benchmarking and all of those lovely words within sustainability, and how you're doing it to report back.
Thank you very much. Reporting back, it is something very important. We need to show, and what we are doing within Sellafield, there is a conscious decision, considering that we are 12,000 people, a lot of reports there, I can assure you. So I wanted to create something that it will be meaningful. So yes, we care, but we need to care in a meaningful way that can be measured. And at the same time, because what we follow is the rule of easy, accessible, and visible, we identified the 3 areas. So we have the one area that it is the hard targets. So we have our KPIs, the internal KPIs that measure the performance of the business. The second part is the legislation. So we need to comply with specific regulations, environmental, socioeconomic. And the third one, that it is my favorite, to be honest, is the sustainable Sellafield. So in the sustainable Sellafield, we are capturing, as part of our maturity assessment, all these areas that we see now from the business, that we are bringing them all together in this journey, what they are doing and where they are and where they want to arrive. So we create mini socioeconomic and environmental, mini sustainability cases for each one of these directorates, that they are meaningful for them. So we create things that are bespoke, but each one of these bespoke cases per directorate feed in the overall sustainability reporting for Sellafield and show us what the journey will be and what is the progress. So for every organization, obviously, things are different and they are in a different maturity level. But for us, I believe it works because this creates less intimidation about sustainability. And the important for us is to ensure and to encourage people that you can contribute, no matter the hierarchy level and no matter the level of knowledge, there is a way to contribute to this overall journey. And we want to have this visible and transparent so everybody can be motivated.
And we have one last question.
Thank you. Obviously, the S bit of ESG is social impact. Does Sellafield have a social impact procurement strategy that looks at, for example, using social enterprises as part of supply chain?
Yes. So big yes. So first of all, we have our social impact strategy. It is now for more than 4 or 5 years, and we just updated this. It supports our local communities, so within West Cumbria and Warrington, but with a focus in West Cumbria. And as part of the social value in procurement, obviously we need to comply with the PPN 0620. The PPN 0620 is the Social Value Act, and that describes the way that we need to have the weighting factor of social value in the procurements as part of the public sector. However, we are doing much more than this, consider much more than this. So we launched an initiative that we can secure minimum socioeconomic, at least, socioeconomic and environmental results through the procurement specifications. So we become very, very descriptive with the supply chain about what we want. Working collaboratively with the local authorities, we identify their priorities and we liaise them with the type of procurements we have. And at the same time, we have put in place a small medium enterprises improvement plan in place in order to secure not only the spend with this community, but at the same time, our new strategy helps them to improve their competitiveness, and we encourage synergies. And at the same time, we created and launched a new upskilling and mentoring program to support this competitiveness.
Okay. Thank you. For a second, I thought your answer was just going to be yes, big yes, which would have been one of the greatest mic drop answers this room has ever seen. But we had some extra detail on the end. Yes. Thank you so much again for your time. It's been a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.